yourself a little drink, Brendy.
No, it's okay.
Why?
I'll get
But
myself
now
a
you're-
water. I'll get myself a
Yeah,
water.
now you're gonna be so thirsty. Hey, Macarena. Oh, let me pull up the questions. Good idea. Oh, does anybody else also want to read questions? Like, why? I don't know why I nominated myself.
Was Akash and Kate Wolf supposed to be dating?
No,
Is
we
that
were all
their-
just friends.
Oh.
I had a scene. I had a scene where I kissed Kate Wolf that obviously
What?
didn't make it. So I just did that for fun, I guess.
Wow. And still became enemies.
I know. Oh, she texted me. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
sent
you
it to us.
Yeah,
you-
because well, that's weird too, because I blocked her and I had her blocked. Does a block go away after like a year? After a year, the iPhone decides you must be over this.
I don't think so. But I also, you didn't send us your response, which
I
is
didn't
very
respond.
important. You didn't respond?
No, I never responded. Why the fuck would I respond? Dude, the last conversation we had, she was like accusing me of some really hardcore shit. Like
What did she
it's
accuse you
Yeah,
of?
but you're forgetting that you guys made out apparently.
we have made out for a movie, and we didn't make out. It wasn't open mouth. It was just closed lip.
Weird.
There's enough of that with Carly to go around. I gotta tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
How
You Gracie?
was there
Here's
at any? Was there any
Gracie.
point? Was there any point where you? Yeah, what did I say? Carly?
Yeah. her
Uh,
last name.
Really?
I don't know why I said that.
'Cause
Because
that's her
it's her
last
last name.
Yeah.
Was there
I
any
know that.
point during the shooting where you were like, "Hey, do we need another one of these? Do we have it? You think do we have?
I'll
coverage?"
I'll tell you what, dude, is it didn't feel like that much while we were filming because we filmed for 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh yeah, I guess we
True.
never have kissed up until this point. And then all of a sudden he put every single kiss scene in it. So it's just, it's a softcore porn starring Michael Shane Cannon.
Cheers,
Boom.
everybody.
Welcome everybody to another episode of What's a Scenario, a Patreon exclusive podcast for now. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Shane Cannon. With me, as always,
Mike Feeney, baby, aka Booker #1, and also
Yeah.
with
Brendan Sagalow, a.k.a. Watcher of Movie.
aka weren't friends yet.
Yeah, there were so many roles in that where I was like, I would have been great for that. I would have been
What,
great for that. I would've been great
what a
for that.
fun, jealous way to watch something.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. Yeah, but
What
that
a
is a
crazy
hilarious
thing. Also, while we're on that, I gotta pick. Let's put a pin in that. Return
Okay.
back to that immediately. But on that same thread, yesterday when we play Call of Duty, I'll put up like, hey, let's go on. We're going live on Twitch. Swipe up, join the thing, blah blah blah. And then Brendan always restores it, but each time puts like a more and more bitter thing. Like, I don't have the swipe up, so just go to his page, fucking find it. I don't give a
Well-
shit, dude.
Well, it's funny. It's like, because sometimes I won't do that. Sometimes I'll just go like, go to Feeney's page, whatever. But it's embarrassing every time I do that. There's something embarrassing about directing people to another man's page.
Oh wow, that's
You know what I
homophobic.
mean?
What are we? You think? What am I? Am I Instagram cucking you?
Yeah, that's digiphobic.
Yeah, you have
Am I
your own.
wrong?
You have your own camera. You could be streaming, but you don't have the internet because you won't talk to your roommates and your landlord.
Right.
That's a whole fucking thing.
Oh,
talked to my
dude, I
roommate.
bet as soon as you get strong internet, your followers are going to go through the roof. You're going to get that swipe up thing in a heartbeat.
Well,
It's
I have
all
to
your
buy my own
internet.
router because I talked to my roommates and they were like not into the idea because they can't afford it. And I'm like,
Can't
You're
afford
fucking
what?
Can't afford $30 for a router?
You buy. It's
I
a
was
one-time
like, I was like,
fee.
it must be like $15 a month. Per
No, no, no.
person.
No,
It's-
it's not. It's for free. You just have the hardware and you link it to the downstairs modem.
Yeah,
So
and the
bu-
hardware that you have to buy is a one-time fee.
Yeah. It's like Apple TV, baby.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
A
So,
router costs
actually,
like $75 to $100. You can
you-
buy it.
You know what,
Okay.
Brendan? You know what? Buy the router for yourself. It's a
Okay.
one-time fee. Don't tell them about it. So then you get a full router to yourself, and you can basically launch missiles from your apartment if you wanted
Whoa!
to.
And what
you
do I
can
do?
have
I
it
just
directly in your apartment.
Yeah,
in your
you'll
room.
be the only person on that Wi-Fi.
and
on
do
that
I
router.
I link it to the Wi-Fi that they're giving me?
You would
Sounds-
need to still hardwire. You would need to get it to the original one somehow.
Yeah, we said that you had to like feed a wire. So somehow you can get a cable guy or somebody. Your landlord should honestly be providing the service because of your fucking internet is so weak and it's attached to your rent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should be like, hey, man, I'll pay for the fucking router. I'll pay for the actual hardware, but you have to install the hard line to it because that isn't included in our rent. And we haven't missed rent, even though it's a fucking pandemic. So you owe us to be a fucking reasonable human being and line us
You know
up,
that
dog.
25% of New Yorkers have not paid rent since March?
Yeah.
And I'm over
Wow.
here like a schmuck paying.
Yeah. You're a silly goose, man.
I would have $10,000 if I stopped paying rent in March.
Yeah, and then you'd owe $10,000 though eventually on the back end. All these people are just stacking it on the back of the lease. They're fucking
Plus the VIG.
crooks.
That's true.
So you
All
got
right.
we're coming out of that
shit.
from the swipe up the internet thing to the
Yeah.
swipe up thing, and then back to the hate watching a movie because I could have been better in these roles. Who do you think you could have portrayed better?
I could have been Mike Cannon.
I don't doubt you, buddy. I bet you could have. Honestly, not that difficult. All you had to do was like furrow your brows a lot and bat your eyelashes
Go
every
like
once
this.
in a while and do open mouth kisses.
I only
Yeah.
noticed for the first in a lot of your very
And hey, Sagalo, why don't you stop taking real shots at my acting, you jerk? I don't
You
like
were doing it
how to.
too, you
Yeah,
fuck.
I'm but that's like me making fun of my sister and then you making fun of my sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Okay.
need you to be moderately complimentary and nice to me because it is relatively raw
I
thing
get
to
it.
put out. You fuck.
Open
I
wounds,
was
get
I
it.
was impressed, and that's also because I thought you filmed the entire movie as shit faced as you did our scene. So I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
he
No.
wasn't as shit faced, but
I was definitely shit faced in that scene, and I think it's
Oh, yeah.
relatively
dude, where
obvious.
you said would you go, are you serious? Like you go, I guess host. You said like
What?
I get host in one.
It wasn't even explained. Like there should have been some
Yeah.
sort of fucking.
You doing a shot before walking into the office? Something
That would have
you
been
know?
great. That would have been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like the that was fucking hilarious. And then
But I also that was the one thing, like just behind the scenes, that was like the one thing that I was willing and wanting to reshoot because I knew that we didn't get that. Like I didn't even want to shoot that scene that night. I was like, let's do it another time. We've been fucking filming for 18 hours. We are drinking because we've been drinking in scenes, and it's like now I'm in the fucking back room with like glassy, wide open eyes looking at Feeney, be like,
Yeah.
"We're the booker now."
you're like, dude, it's so. Are you? Wait, serious? It's great.
Where?
Awesome.
You sure I get to host?
Well, either way, this podcast is not about that. So, welcome everybody again to What's the Scenario? A scenario, hypothetical, what if, all that jazz-based podcast. It is a comedy obstacle course that you guys help create. We get a bunch of new Patreon members this week, which is awesome. Thank you guys for signing up. Continue to tell your friends. And now we're going to take your questions, and as always, we're going to go by tier in terms of what you motherfuckers spend per month. So Sarah Hagen Miller, long time, multiple time.
Long
because-
time.
Yeah, because it's not long time first time, so it's long time multiple time. Also, we have to do that. We have to do our Zoom party with our top tiers.
Yes.
We have to do our individual pod where they play scenarios with us. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to plan that in the Patreon in the next couple
Yeah,
of
it's got to
days.
be in the next week.
Definitely. All right. So Sarah Hagen Miller, she asks, what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
What?
I mean, acting.
Mandatory?
Yeah. So what? What sport? I mean, baseball would maybe be the most destructive You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
so many bats would be let go. People would be hit by the ball all the time.
Yeah.
Fights, constant fights.
The pitcher would be falling constantly. We just
Outfield-
throw his
out-
arm too much.
Dude, outfielders would be standing out there for hours shit-faced. They'd just be pissing in the outfield. Like, I can't
Yeah.
hold it anymore.
In the heat.
Yeah.
My God, the heat.
Probably also, it'd be really funny. Hockey would be really funny. Drunk.
That deaths would occur. You can't add alcohol with razor sharp blades
Yeah.
on a frictionless surface.
More fights would happen, especially even on the team, you'd be fighting your own teammates.
You just beat the shit out of your coach. Feeney, what sport do you think?
Oh, see, I was deciphering. I half heard the question, and I've been trying to pick up context clues this whole time to be like, are they talking about just sports to drink or just activities to drink? Because it seems like we're going down a specific sports hole right now, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, what professional sport would be the funniest to add alcohol to?
Funniest.
But take it this way, because baseball already exists. Like, people do the beer league softball and shit like that.
I got it.
Okay.
And it makes the sport watchable. Golf. Because getting shit-faced and then just seeing someone sweating and shit-faced in khakis, knee-deep in fucking grass, being like, where the fuck is the fucking thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
The funny thing is, all they would have to do is follow us around a golf course. Like, we can do that. If you want to have, if you want to have golf. If you want to have the pro tour and then the blackout tour, we could fucking make that happen.
Redman and Method Man play golf?
I actually thought of a better one. If there's professional debaters, I think having every time they, it just progressively gets drunker and drunker would be hilarious.
Debaters? That's not a sport.
That's on TV. They broadcast that on TV sometimes.
On ESPN?
Not on ESPN, but it wasn't professional. It's just a sport.
But debating isn't a sport.
Maybe not to you.
That's your only answer. That was the only thing you could have said there. You really saved it.
But if it was a sport, that'd be really funny.
Do you know what gets really funny when alcohol's involved, and it often does, is poker. Like Scotty Nguyen, or how do you say it? Wynn? Yeah, Scotty Nguyen is this really fucking rambunctious drunk. He always has Coronas at the table, and he'd just be like, I know what you have, baby. And he'd just sexually harass women at the table. He'd just say wild shit to people. Mike the Mouth Matisow was doing key bumps at the table and then just screaming at other players. It's it's the best.
I like that.
Wow.
Casinos are seedy fucking places to begin with, so there needs to be it's weirder when people are stone sober with headphones and sunglasses on. You're you just look like you're going to shoot somebody.
I assume those people are on hallucinogens.
No, they're just people who it's embarrassing that they're not. They're just taking it super seriously.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing that they're not. And they're then they take out their iPod shuffle. And they're changing the song, and you're you're fucking broke idiot. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, why wouldn't they take it seriously? It's isn't there a lot of money riding on that stuff?
Taking it seriously is fine, but doing the ESPN World Series of Poker, Chris Moneymaker, Oakley glasses, hood up, headphones in, and pretending you know what the fuck is going on is the biggest.
The Unabomber look.
It's the most, Phil Locke. It's the most bonerific 1-2 no limit move ever, because you're all sitting there with $100. It's if you lose this and it's the end of your life, you shouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
All right, so next question, Sarah. Again, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done? Great question.
Oh,
partied too hard?
Yeah. Been too cool? I know the legitimate answer is that my
Mike's
parents
is
is
why
weed.
don't we answer each other's? What do we
Yeah.
think? Because I mean, Mike
I actually
clearly
think-
is a violent assault.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
no.
But
No, that's not what my family would think I was arrested for.
That's what us as family would think you're arrested for. We're
That's what I
telling
was
you
gonna
this.
say.
Right.
Hey.
My close friends who know me the best would think that, but not my family.
your family would think like drugs.
Yeah, my family would think it was drugs.
I think that works for either of us, though. Like,
Feeney's
I
would be
think it'd be
DUI.
drugs or assault.
Yeah. Yeah.
in
I mean,
some
what
way.
else is there? We're not robbers. Like, we're not setting up we're not
Yeah.
we're not gonna burgle any fucking place. We're not even gonna shoplift.
I don't know. I'm stealing the crown jewels of England.
I could see Brendan getting arrested for pissing in public.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Some sort of drunk something.
Like
know what?
flipping off a cop and then getting pepper sprayed or something.
I could see Brendan getting arrested for eating a burger at the museum and getting ketchup on a priceless painting.
Damn, dog. You gonna play that bell? You gonna ring that bell again?
What?
What?
Sorry,
the
I'm
eating-
watching the Samuel L. Jackson masterclass.
Yeah, was that a line from the masterclass?
No, I was just I was going for something different, and
Uh-huh.
and you guys successfully smushed my face back to my place.
You know what I like about you, Brendan, is you're constantly growing as an artist. You really try things often.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna take that as much of a compliment as I think it was.
I mean, it was a total compliment. I mean, sometimes, the show suffers because of it, but
Most
know,
times.
mo-
But I
but
like the
often.
when it pays off. God
didn't-
damn.
I said sometimes. Feeney said most times. That's a more hurtful thing.
What
But
would
I,
Feeney be arrested for?
pedophilia.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm the one getting molested because I look so good.
I would love to see Feeney on To Catch a Predator, just like all smarmy.
There's dude,
To
I
the guy.
would
Like, actually, I was just buying them alcohol. I had no intent on fucking her. I was supplying her alcohol. So I guess lock me up for the weekend. But,
first off, I'm gonna put it out there that I would never have sex with a child or anybody underage, but I could easily
What a
break
pedophile
Chris
would say.
Hansen. I would have Chris
That
Hansen
is
take a seat.
exactly what a pedophile would say.
What would
What?
you say to Chris
Deny
Hansen?
it? Deny
Yeah.
yeah. What would you say, Mike?
I'd say, catch me if you can.
Yeah, I'd come in and pretend to be a detective, like in that movie.
Yeah, dude. Be like, oh, wow, good to see you. We just got him. He's in our truck.
Yeah,
Got here first, kid. You got me here 5 minutes
Yeah.
ago. You would have had it. Case. How'd
I'm
you
in
know
a-
I wouldn't check the wallet?
I'm in a suit, but I still have an erection.
I'm just gonna take this Mike's Hard lemonade.
Yeah, as
on my
evidence,
way.
of course. And can I get the recording of the girl's voice? Oh, no, that's just your voice? Okay.
I'm gonna be able to jack it to want cookies for like months.
Oh my god! All right, next question. Troyer Wallace Evans. I don't know why this is how I posed the question. I said about anything and everything. Dig deep, get weird, make Feeney uncomfortable. So Troyer says, to make Feeney uncomfortable, how would you prepare your latest pet? That would be Jeet, if you had to eat it.
Oh, you gotta panko crust him and deep fry him.
That's actually that's a great question for Feeney too, because you're like into that stuff too.
Yeah, panko crusted, cayenne, deep fried. What are you talking about? Is there another answer?
I don't know.
That is the best answer you could have possibly given. Oh my god, I actually got hungry. Like, you're talking about your dog, but I'm like, fucking panko crusted dog, dude. I could absolutely do that.
I bet G would taste good too. He seems like
Nah.
he's got some
He's
muscle.
too lean.
He is very little body fat.
Yeah. I'd need like
Takes
Saint-
after his old man.
Oh god. I'd need like a Saint Bernard or something. You know what? No, I got it. English bulldog, perfect dog to eat.
Oh, what
Oh,
dog
yeah.
would we
That's
eat?
like a
Yeah.
pig in a blanket without the blanket.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
panko
English
crusted.
bulldog.
I'd let
Like
Feeney
Sean
cook
Donnelly's dog would be.
You'd let me cook it?
it. I would eat Sean Donnelly. Yeah.
You'd let me cook the dog?
That kid's been soaking in beer, marinating in booze for 20 years.
I mean-
Yes. And Feeney, there's no one else that I would allow
Yeah.
to cook the dog besides
And
you.
we're
Out
all
of
in
the three of
agreement. You
us.
know what that means, boys? Convoy.
Bone-
Mike will never understand.
I
And
still
it'll
won't.
anger him for some reason.
No, I joined it.
But
I you know what? I was gonna be angry, but then I was like, no, you're a caricature. And so I smiled and I pumped with you.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I gotta keep them guessing. I can't keep giving angry, you know? I gotta
Yes.
sometimes
The
get happy.
distract, the like the confused one. You're like,
Yeah, that was the best you went.
Listen, I'll never be on time for it, but I'll meet you there.
All right. Fair enough. That's all we
Okay.
ask.
All right, next question. Best answer, I think, maybe of the podcast's entire history in terms of like accuracy and how that made me feel. All right. Troyer Wallace, again, what are some crazy places / scenarios you bought drugs in? Oh, yeah.
ooh, what's the crazy place I bought drugs?
I have a story.
You go, because I can't think of
Um,
anything.
I mean, it's always cocaine. Like weed is not, weed, you just end up at some guy that like, he has too many posters and he's listening to music and, he just wants to hang out for too long. It's a tale as old as time. Pineapple Express is
Yeah.
fucking based on it. It's a movie because that's real. Cocaine is a fucking much different, much more sinister situation, because sometimes when you're looking for it, your buddies know a guy who knows a person, and it's like this long chain of command, and it's not readily available, but because it's cocaine, you're willing to make that trip sometimes, especially if you're drinking. It's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and you're just like, let's fucking go. I remember in college, dude, it was one of those times I was doing coke every single weekend. This is at my worst in terms of cocaine. So I think for like 2.5 months, I was doing it every single weekend. And then, which, I guess that's definitely a problem, but it's not as bad as I know some people have gotten. Like Brendan doing a bump every single day just to
Yeah,
perk
I was
himself
gonna
up.
say every day going to therapy. Like I did it once and went to therapy.
Oh,
It's
no.
Did he notice?
no, I don't think
Bad
so.
therapist.
He might have. He didn't say it.
He could have also thought you had too much coffee.
That could be it too.
Yeah.
It was.
Which
It was one
I'm
bump,
also
so it
guilty
wasn't
of.
like
Just a little bumpy.
just a little fucking.
Just a little bump to talk about your mom. Just to get the words flowing. I'll tell you what, I bet that was your best hour.
I was gonna say, I picture you sitting like this, being like, yes, I agree with that. Yes, I am
But-
too quick to trust.
See, that's those are the only things that are so like, you've never done coke, right, Feeney?
Nope.
You see, that's the only like that confidence only kind of exists if you're out and partying. If you're doing coke in like social situations, you're more like kind
do
of
you mean?
rickety and like a little more paranoid and kind of like, watching your back instead
Do
of being
they
like
know?
uber confident. Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that way with weed a lot of times when I'm in public. It's like
Really?
that. Do they know I'm high?
Oh, I don't care. I just assume everybody thinks I am at all times, and that allows me to then be smarter than what they expect.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that with Coke. Assume everyone thinks I'm on Coke at all times, and then just be fucking doing rails.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess you're just gonna be on coke.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make this image of me being a cokehead.
Either way, this is when I went to Geneseo, and I think I went to like one of the seedy fucking outside towns of Geneseo. Geneseo is like, an oasis in the middle of upstate Western New York in the sense that the houses are beautiful. It's a college town, so the upkeep is, important, and they have the funds to do it. Outside of that is like, almost kind of like barren, Western, almost gray a little bit New York, where, it gets a little more spread out. It's still beautiful in areas, but there's like, it gets a little sketchy in some of the towns. I think it was Livonia. I'm not entirely sure, but that I know that's a town around outside of that. I think it was Livonia we drove to get coke, and I ended up in this weird one room apartment. So it wasn't a one bedroom, it was one room, and there was like no kitchen to be seen. It was just a room in an apartment in like one of those strip complexes, and the fucking walls were painted red and dark and navy blue, and there were like 2 pieces of furniture, and the TV was on snow. It was like a joke, dude. Like literally like the TV, and I'm looking at it, and there's like
Whoa.
a person with a blanket, and there's the walls are different colors, and I'm like, I'm gonna get murdered in like a prototypical crack den.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is like a movie crack den. And I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And the guy was like, hey, yeah, I have it right here. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I bought the cocaine and then, proceeded to do it on the ride back, and
Wow.
just being like, well, that was super sketchy, man. What
Was
was
it
that guy's
weird?
deal?
Was the coke like? Was it not good coke?
It was never good coke upstate. It was like fine, but it got the job done. But it was, it was never good.
I
Good
don't
enough to
even.
do every
Good enough to
weekend,
do,
though.
baby. Good
The
enough to do.
only the only thing that, like, I was just talking to Erica about this, is like right when we moved to Astoria, immediately after college, and we knew nobody. It was like an old drug dealer from college knew a person who knew a person who lived in Astoria, and so we got their number, and it was like super shady, and being like, pull over here, and we drove to like what could have been our current neighborhood, but from the other side of Astoria, and like all the streets look the same, so we're like, we were kind of lost, and then they were like, stop the car, we'll come out. And it was just like, it was pitch black too. So we're like, we
Yeah.
couldn't see where they, and all of a sudden someone's like pulling the door handle, and you're like,
Oh,
are you the one with the
dude.
drugs? Like, it was just like,
Oh my God.
we were so nervous. And of course the guy like couldn't be like more cool, but it was that moment of being like, this is a dangerous game we're playing for
Yeah.
some plants.
This is such an argument to legalize. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I know.
If I had a gun, I might have gotten scared and shot the man.
Yeah, and then taking more weed.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger crime.
Hell yeah.
Brendan, what about you?
I don't know, man. I'm usually just like, did I tell that story about when I was buying Robitussin and the lady was like,
Yeah.
yelled at the whole store? She was like, you know what these kids are doing this with? And everyone's like, we don't care, lady.
You've
I
had
guess
to buy coke from sketchy people, though.
Yeah, I've never.
I see
bought-
Brendan more of a you guys doing coke? I'll come with kind of a guy.
Right.
for sure. Or I'll go, who's buying? I'll put money in.
Right.
That's what I'll do too.
What would you get on a cocaine night? Would you get your own gram, or were you sharing?
No, we were sharing a gram. We were sharing
Oh.
a little bag.
How many?
Tops 3 or 4 people.
Okay, yeah.
So
because we'd
it's
each
not
get
like-
our own. We'd each get our own gram at our.
That's
at
crazy.
our- yeah. Well, and then we were splitting like 8 balls between 2 people, and sometimes more. It was a really.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was super weird. Well, I mean, here's the thing: cocaine.
When
is
street
fun.
coke Sagalo is judging you, that's how you know there's a
I'm not-
fucking.
Well, I'm not saying
judging. I'm
it's-
going, where was this guy when I was around?
I'm not saying it's like something to aspire to. I'm just saying that this was like the type of partying we were doing, and also this was at a time in my life where I was wildly destructive and probably trying to kill myself. So I wouldn't recommend this to fucking anybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's always like when you're buying ecstasy or something and you're just giving money to someone who's like, we might get it. We might get robbed. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And
But
when
you're
we
just like,
get
okay.
it might be the drug we paid for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who fucking
So
knows?
it's always a little. I had a weed dealer, same story that you were just saying, the whole Pineapple Express thing, but he also had a mace that he would love to show every single person multiple times. Like he'd be like, did I show you my mace, my ball and chain mace? And you'd be like, yeah, you showed me last time. He like, check this out, dude. And he would just like wave it around, and you'd be like,
Oh
you're
my
like, can I just
God.
have weed, please? And while the ball with these fucking spikes are like, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, that's horrifying.
Yeah. That guy's doing really good now, though. I think he like owns a coffee shop.
What's the scenario? All right,
Oh.
next question. You can, Troyer, again, you contain the vaccine to COVID in you, but the only way to give it to others is to deeply tongue kiss them for 3 seconds. You won't catch anything they have. Do you save the world?
I save every hot chick in the world for sure.
Nice answer.
Hell yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. And he ate her up. Bam, bam, bam.
I ain't saving no pigs.
Male or female. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo will live.
Yeah, I take a direct flight. I take a direct flight to Leonardo DiCaprio's house.
Yeah, and I fucking tongue kiss his ass and convince him that's the cure.
I go
Yeah,
to
he's
Brooklyn
like,
and
I
go see
don't have
Ryan Reynolds, pay him a visit.
Brendan, I don't have it.
I don't have it. You don't need to kiss me. Kiss me.
Yeah, if we kiss him, does it give it to him instead?
Maybe
I guess-
like a flu shot. Who knows?
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
awesome. Did you read that only 40% of vaccinated people for COVID-19 it's going to be effective for?
Oh, I mean
40%.
that seems like a high number. I mean, for every time
yeah.
I've ever gotten a flu shot, I've gotten the flu. So
yeah.
it
Oh, I
really-
would never get the flu shot. It's a joke. It's always for last year's strain too. We're in bad shape. But all right, next question. What's the scenario? Genocide asks, what are one of y'all's most wild and or weird stories from college for Cannon and Feeney that you haven't told on IGP?
I mean, if I had a great one, it's already on the podcast, baby, because
Yeah.
I ain't living
Yeah.
that crazy of a life. But I just put
Ooh.
up one just a couple hours ago on my Instagram of me getting blackout drunk, and that was like the most drunk I ever was, and that was pretty accurate. So you can go watch that. I don't need to tell the whole it's a 5-minute thing.
Nice.
Did I ever tell that story of the girl who tried to fuck me in a bathroom and I was too stupid to do it? I ever tell you that?
No.
I
Like
was
too
in
stupid
college.
in what way? You were like just putting the dick into her knee, like you didn't know where to go, or you just meant like you didn't take
Well, let me
advantage of the
explain.
situation. No. I'm going to ask more questions first.
I showed up to a party after a spot and everybody was hammered already. And I was like, I was like, I gotta get there. So I'm like pounding beers, but not really getting there in time. Just having to pee. So I go to pee and I go into the bathroom and a girl who I've never met before, I've never seen before in my entire life, comes into the bathroom with me. And I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. I've never even thought I'd be in a situation where a girl would follow me into the bathroom to have sex with me. So she closes the door and I go, I'm in here. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom, miss. And she's like, I know, like she's hammered. Like Cannon in that scene in Timing, hammered. She's like, I don't know, what's up? And I go, I have to pee. And she goes, that's cool. I'll sit here and wait. And I go, no, you gotta go because I can't pee with you in here. And she's like, I'll just sit. Like she wasn't leaving. So I go, okay, I'll try to pee. I don't know what. At this point, I'm like, all right. I take my dick out. I aim it at the toilet, and I can't pee because she's standing right there. She's
Stage
right
fright.
there. We're in a bathroom in an apartment, and I'm going like, you gotta go. So I go. I kind of I don't grab her, but I like hold her back, and I go, can you leave? I start pushing her towards the door, and she turns real quick, and she goes in front of the door, and she goes, wait. And she says her name, which I forgot. She goes like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. And I go, hi, can you get the fuck out of here? Like I started like yelling at her. I'm like, get the fuck out of the bathroom. And she leaves the bathroom and she goes, this guy's a faggot. And she said to everybody. And I'm like, okay, whatever, But then the next day, my friend Caitlin had left like her hat or a sweater or something in the party. So we had to go back to that apartment and she was there with a bunch of people and she's talking still like that. She's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Turns out she was French. So she might have not been that fucking hammered. And to this day, I regret it.
I don't.
To
Here's the
this day,
thing.
I regret
I
that.
don't think.
That was your wife.
I know.
and you ruined it.
Yeah, that was how I met your mother.
Somebody handed you the love of your life, and you said, "Beat it, frog."
I don't agree. I don't think that she ever wanted to have sex with you. I think that she wanted to cut the party bathroom line and wanted to ensure that she was next, so much so that she's like, I'll sit here on the toilet. I'll sit in here waiting for you to get done, so I got dibs on next. You didn't say anything about her
That
making
seems
it
crazy.
Was it a long line?
There's like 2-3 people.
That's plenty. She also made no attempt at being trying to kiss you. She didn't say anything about you being hot or wanting to fuck you.
She didn't
Why
say,
would she
"Show
stop
me
and
your
talk
dick"
to
or
me?
"Piss on me."
She
Why
made
would
no interest because that's why she introduced her name, because she didn't want to get kicked out of the bathroom because she wanted to go next.
But then she called me a
Dude,
faggot.
she
Yeah,
basically,
just because you kicked her out of the bathroom and had her probably go to the back of the line.
Brendan, you got reverse Louied. You
Yeah,
got
she used
forced
She
to
used her
show
position of
your
power.
dick to a stranger, and then she called you a faggot.
And then you said this was at the Aspen Comedy Festival, right?
Yeah, there were 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
I'm
I
walking
think she
around
wanted
carrying
next.
that she wanted to have sex with me. So can we just leave it with that? So
You
I can
can, but
Why?
here's-
Why would you want to live with that regret? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
that's
it's
a
nice to
stupid-
think you had a chance.
Yeah, and here's, let me tell you also why that's dumb and wrong, is because if you did have sex with her in that bathroom, you would have committed rape probably, because she was shit-faced drunk and you were not drunk
Well,
by your own admission.
But
That's
she
the
was
only
also
reason why
French.
didn't have sex with her, because I mean, if I was fucking hammered, we would have been going at it, I think.
Or she would have been pissing right after you pissed.
Yeah, she would have been like, "Cool dick," and then pushed you out of the way.
that's
And then
what I'm
Cool
saying.
dick, piggy. She calls me piggy. Cool dick, Porky Pig.
Now, beat it.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh man,
That's wild.
anyway, that's my
that is
college
really
story.
wild. Did I tell the story about? So I used to hook up a lot in my Malibu, like in my '98 Chevy Malibu, because my parents were so strict in high school, and then even as when I went to junior college, I lived with my parents, obviously, so I had to like be resourceful on how to fuck. So I was sleeping with this chick who was, I think she was a senior in high school. So I had known her. I was a freshman in college. I'm still living in the same town I went to high school with. I was hooking up with this senior, and she happened to be a virgin. And we had sex in the back of my Malibu, but I was like, so it's like a tight fit. I'm trying to like mule kick the door and like figure out a place to put my body, because we had to go missionary, because obviously it's like the first time. I'm not going to bust her wide open with her on top. And so I get on top. I finally like shift into position, and I just come immediately. And I'm like, well, I'm like, no, what the fuck? So I'm like, what do I do? And then I pretended that I was so uncomfortable I couldn't continue.
That's a good move.
I was like,
That's a smart move.
man, I was like, yeah, my legs cramp. I can't like get comfortable. Let's do this later.
But
So that
where
girl-
did you come?
In a
Yeah.
condom.
Oh.
Yeah, I was bagged. I wasn't fucking playing with that.
It would have been funny if she was like, okay, then what is all of this?
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
like,
that's my-
So you're just gonna
she's like-
throw out that water balloon,
Yeah,
and then we'll keep.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, it looks like your sink is filling up a water balloon.
Oh, I'm much like a squid when I'm uncomfortable. Like,
yeah. I
squirt.
pissed. I got scared.
It's white ink.
whoa, rare.
Oh, that's so hilarious. Okay, let's go. We have 3 more questions. You guys ready?
Yee.
All right. So Jessica Scott. Oh, this is a good question. Have you ever seen your mom, sister, grandma, aunt naked?
Yes.
All of them together?
It was a hell of a night.
It was the same night as the bathroom.
Yeah, that was my grandma.
That French bitch.
I recently, like within the past couple of years, went to go visit my grandma at a nursing home, and her door was open, so I walked in, and she was butt naked, dude. It was
Doing
very
what?
uncomfortable.
Fingering herself?
Yeah, she's a cam girl.
It was for her OnlyFans.
She has to bend her arthritic fingers.
OnlyGrams.
OnlyGrams. It was just her and a bunch of female New York City comedians just trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
My grandma's butthole's on the Legion of Skanks Reddit.
Did she have a hairy bush?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't really looking.
There's
It was
no
kind of
way
one of those.
she's no way she's doing maintenance down there.
Imagine
What are you
she's
kidding?
shaving her clam.
She definitely had some sort of hair down there, but it was one of those things where I was like, ah, like
Maybe it all
immediately,
fell
like
out. Does it fall out?
her hair.
Do pubes fall out?
Well, if you can go bald on your head, why wouldn't you go bald on your puss?
Yeah, you get
That's true.
alopecia.
I guess the older you get, you can get that can happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was disgusting, and I think about it all the time. Rest in peace, Grandma.
Is she
She's
dead?
gone?
Yeah, she died like last year. Maybe
She
2
died
years
that
ago.
day.
She
She
Yeah.
died of shame.
She died from a horrible orgasm.
I'm pretty sure I saw my aunt's tits at some point because I used to think about them a lot. But I don't think I've seen. I remember seeing my mom's bush when I was like 3, and just being like, "I'll process that later."
Yeah.
I think I walked in on my mom and my mom's fiance like fooling around. You know what I mean? Probably like
Ooh.
pre-sex action, but it was one of those like as the door was open, they were like quickly. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
Scrambling.
really see. They were quickly scrambling. It was a lot of.
How
sheep.
old were you?
A teenager.
Oh, that's
Yeah, but-
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough. Oh, well, I walked in on my parents having sex, but they were
Oh.
covered. They were covered in their blankets, and it was just white Irish leg on top of white Irish leg, and they were like, it was
my
like not
God.
rhythmically moving and like jostling about, and I was
Ugh.
just like, and I got the fuck out of the.
How old were
know,
you?
I was 15.
Jesus
Or
Christ.
no, 13. 13. Yeah, that was a rough one. Okay. Jessica Scott, I've definitely seen my dad's dick.
Is that what she's saying?
No, but she did it. She only asked for mom, sister, grandma, aunt. But no, I've seen my dad's Peppa. Jessica Scott, if you held a world record, what would it likely be for?
Crying. The longest cry, I
Fuck.
think. The longest whining.
That's fine too. I was gonna say blunts, but I'm like, I'm not even in the league with some
No
people.
way.
Like, not even close. But crying, I could compete at an Olympic level.
Maybe we could do like the longest podcast, you know?
That
No,
sucks.
yeah, that does suck. I wouldn't want to do that. Keith and the girl do a 24-hour one, and I think I came in on hour like 21, and they were both wildly unpleasant. And I love both of them. I usually, have a good time on their podcast, but I was there and I was like, well, this is like really combative. Why would you do this to yourselves? Nobody
Yeah, of
expects
course.
this out of anybody.
How many coffee cups were around them?
A lot. There was also joints going around. Like, it was cool. I was smoking pot, but maybe I was paranoid, but I was also like, this feels combative.
Yeah. Feeny, what about you?
I mean, it'd have to be something with sarcasm, right?
Longest punch to the face. Whatever
What?
that means. I
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
does that mean?
I don't know, man. Just fucking bounce off with me.
You're
Don't
the
let
one
me
that
die.
lost traction first. You
I
went
know,
whatever
I did
that
lose.
means.
I did lose traction.
I was yes ending your lack of confidence.
That's true. That's true. I
All right,
apologize.
our last question. You ready?
Sure.
Mhm.
From Dave Benovich, and this is the first one that's kind of mean. If you came out as gay, what kind of gay dude would you be? A feisty, sassy gay dude or a slob bear gay dude? P.S. Cannon already sounds like he's gay. All right. Like, I guess is that bleeding into this now? Are you paying $5 to call me gay? It's like, thanks, you fucking loser. And why? Because I enunciate. I've truly have never understood this. Like, my voice is annoying for a lot of reasons. Sounding gay, I mean, maybe. I feel like it's low and I over enunciate and I'm a bit nasally. I don't hear the homosexual.
No, I hear it.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that anytime you do an impression of a woman, you're doing an impression of a gay man.
Me?
Yeah.
Not really. My impression of Nicole on
We're
my
like,
album
you don't like
is
real pussy? You don't like real pussy? You're like
Oh,
that
well,
guy,
that was a
you're like the
21
guy from Hollywood Squares.
That's also like an 8-year-old joke. My the shark.
Sorry,
bit-
it's in the movie. I just want.
Yeah,
it's
fair
fresh
enough.
in
It
my
is
head.
in the movie.
Yeah, there's like half your album in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
know.
part of your special too. I was like, wow, they really this was filmed all the way to the like yesterday.
Well, no, not only that, but I was also doing old jokes. So when they were doing like year 1, year 2, and year 3, I was doing like some of my jokes from year 1. Like that I
Oh.
got robbed by 2 gay guys. They knocked me down. They just knocked me down and dressed me better. That was like my first joke.
Wow.
It's a terrible joke, but it's like there were a ton of jokes from the very beginning when I started that I did for it.
That's a
What
cool
about
little,
that-
like pop-up video fact.
Yeah.
What about that joke where you were like, if Seinfeld was doing your material?
Yeah,
What'd
dude,
you say?
that's from the second time I ever did stand-up comedy, and it was for a Friars Club audition at the comic strip, and they asked us to do some sort of like celebrity roasty kind of joke, and that was the joke I thought of.
Wow. What was
Yeah,
what was the punchline?
What's the deal with stillborn babies? It was like it was terrible. And why do they call them stillborn anyway? What? Because they're stillborn even though they're dead? It's like awful.
Yeah.
That was the joke that I told that my friend who went to prison walked me around the backyard and was like, I had a stillborn. I'm going to fucking kill you. I can't believe you wrote that about about me. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't write that about you. And he's like, oh, okay. You're free to go.
What? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Go.
Yeah, you're free to go. He held a knife to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That impression though that you did just now was better than the one you did in the movie.
Okay.
Wow.
I was just saying it's getting better.
I'm not working on it.
Wow, that's
No,
even
I can
more
tell you're
impressive.
trying. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll make that joke work one day.
Man, you know what? I'm blaming Dave Benovich for ruining the last 5 minutes of this
Yeah,
podcast.
Brendan-
I'm furious.
Brendan's toxicity came out of that. Came oozing out. Any
Yeah.
chance he can needle
Toxicity of my
our
city. Anyway,
What kind of gay guy would you be? I'd be a power bottom for sure.
I'd probably
For sure.
be like a bottom. I'd be like a bottom or top.
Bottom sounds like a lot less work.
I'm a bottom now.
Yeah, but bottom is so invasive. Could you let somebody inside your body?
If I was gay, yeah.
You really got to get, but not necessarily, because gay people don't have, like, not all of them don't have gay anal sex, and definite and even less than that are bottoms.
Oh,
Like, most gay people, or not even most, but I think there's like a high percentage of gay people whose sex is like almost all oral and like whatever. That like anal sex is just not part of it.
oh, then whatever the least gay answer to this is, that's me.
Yeah.
Your homophobia is really ringing true in this episode, Zach. This is like the third time.
Mine is?
Yeah.
I would
What?
love to be like the Nathan Lane type gay who can
Yeah.
always say a little
Oh yeah.
just the snark and but also like if anyone tries to attack him, just be like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
What movie is that with Nathan Lane? Did we talk about this on the show? Nathan Lane, the guy from
Birdcage?
There's Something There About Mary, and the mouse in the house, and they have to get the mouse out. It's like this work of art house.
Oh, yes. I remember this movie.
The guy with the fake broken back from There's Something About Mary, and
Yeah.
Nathan Lane, and they're the mouse.
Mousetrap?
Is it Mousetrap?
Mousetrap.
Or Stuart
Yeah,
Little?
that's the name of it.
It's not Stuart Little. No, definitely not. But it's
No,
probably
this one-
Mousetrap.
Yeah, this one, the mouse is like bad.
It's not bad. The mouse is the good guy. It's lived in that house its whole life, and they're coming in there trying to fucking sell the house, and they got to get rid of the mouse to do that.
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of like Rube Goldberg jokes in it too,
Who?
where like a bowling ball goes like hits them in the like.
Oh yeah,
very
it's a kids
Home
movie.
Alone-y.
Yeah, it's a kids
Yeah.
movie. It's great though. I love that movie.
Yeah.
But that's Feeney. Feeney would be like Feeney would have the guy from There's Something About Mary's Body and Nathan Lane's mannerisms.
And they're
I'm down
both
with
just
that.
hunting a mouse.
Unlike
Yeah.
Brendan, I take that as a compliment.
And I would just have the same voice I do right now, except I would just force my asshole onto girthy penises.
I would take being called Nathan Lane as a compliment. I
That is
I
a
love him.
compliment. Nathan Lane
Yeah.
is like one of
Yeah,
the most
what's your
talented
problem?
people of all
Dude, why are you
time.
calling me
I
homophobic,
love-
dog? I love
well,
hom-
it's because you said gays shouldn't have the same rights as us.
Yeah.
Oh. That's bad? Wait, that's homophobic?
All right, that's our show, everybody. What's the scenario, Feeney? Let's read off some of the new Patreon members because we have gotten quite a few in the last few days. Thank you, everybody. We're now, I think, close to 60% of the way to our first goal, which the three of us will then somehow film the breakup scene from Brokeback Mountain. We can't stress. Brendan can't stress how not gay we are. Wow, that's how this has gone. Feeney started as the homophobic one. Now
I'm not
Brendan's
homophobic.
the homophobic one, and I'm the one being called gay.
Two of my best friends are gay, and I do a podcast with them.
Wow,
And that's why you're bitter and jealous. So we got new people, baby. We have, I don't know if we shouted them out, but if not, Austin Owens, because he joined right last Wednesday. So I don't know if we got to him in time. But Austin Owens, $10 a month, genderless icon. Thank you very
Austin.
much. Appreciate
He
you.
sounds like a professional paintball player.
Yeah.
Austin Owens.
Austin Owens.
We got Dakota Buyka.
What?
Buyka. Dakota Buyka.
Bike.
It's probably BK.
No.
Dakota Bike.
Cool dudette with the big D. Thank you very much, Dakota. We have Dave Benovich. Appreciate you.
So
Cool dudette.
he's a new guy that just came on here to call me gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are a loving community here at What's the Scenario?
Yeah,
but
it's
with
positive.
us, we're coming at you.
You're invading our safe space. This is an area we've created to not be criticized and only heralded as the geniuses we believe we are.
Jens Jensen, who's the one who sent us the question I asked us on Monday.
Oh, nice. I think
she's
that's
a-
Jens Jensen.
No.
Yeah, Jens is a German name. I was named Jens. That was my German name in German class.
Jen with an S,
It's Jens.
but it's Jen with an S, right? Is how your Jens is spelled to you?
Yeah, yeah.
So, thanks. And also we have Jesse Duran, genderless icon. Thank you,
Hell yeah.
Jesse. And anybody that left, we're sad to see you go, but we don't need you because we got a good thing going here.
Oh yeah.
We do. Come back if you want. Tell your friends, though,
Come
everybody.
back at any point.
Yeah. Again, what's the scenario pod? Right now, we are exclusive to Patreon. People are guessing their asses off in the comment section, which is actually making me laugh really hard. They're like, oh no, now we're going to have to pay for more content on OnlyFans. We're not. We're obviously developing our own website, OnlyGrams. And we're using Brendan's grandmother's content to kickstart us. And then our podcast is going to be the second cornerstone of that.
You're going to love it.
You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. Again, tell your friends. Spread the word.
Thank you.
Bye.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo.